Okay, in this section, we're going to have a little bit of fun by trying to crack our password. Okay, it will prove also why it's important to have strong passwords in general. Now, the tool we're going to use is a very popular tool for cracking passwords and hacking passwords. So it's called Hashcat. Okay, do a man hashcat and run through it. Now, there are many flags that you can set on it. So I will just go straight to the point. If I search for the word attack and go further down, at some point you'll get to the two important things that we care about for now. One is the attack mode. So it sets exactly how Hashcat is going to treat and use the word lists that are going to be provided. For example, the 01, which is the one we're going to use, which says straight, essentially is a dictionary or word list attack, which takes all the words one by one as they are in the word list and tries to create a hash and compare with the password of our hash. The hash of our password, okay, to compare them. So that's the straight mode. Then there's, for example, combination, which takes combination of the words you have in our word list, and so on and so forth. So there are several modes, but we're going to start here with the dictionary, the basic one, just so we can see the basic usage, and then of course you can explore Hashcat further. The other thing is the hash type. So essentially we're telling Hashcat what sort of hash is this, which algorithm was used to create that hash. And we know, I'll show you straight away, we know that in this case, this is the algorithm that was used for the Linux password. Therefore, we're going to use this value here into the command. Okay, so let's go see how the kind of end result will look like in Hashcat. So this is the name obviously of the tool, and then we will have -m, which is the type, the algorithm that we're going to use, and then we set it to 1800 as we said. Then -a and then 0 for the dictionary attack, so what sort of attack we're going to have. And then two things. One is the hash file. So we're going to store the hash of the Linux password in its entirety. We're going to store it in a file. For example, imagine that you are in a system with thousands and thousands of users and you have their hashed passwords. You're going to need a file to throw them in and just run hashcat and let it do its work throughout the list. So we're going to use that. We're not going to put directly the hash anywhere else. And then we have the word list that we are going to use from the word list that we created in the previous sections. Okay, so this is the basic format. And as we said, Hashcat is going to run through this word list one by one, is going to use this algorithm to hash every single word, and then it's going to compare the output with the password we have. And if it works, and if it finds a match, then it means it found the password essentially. Okay, now the next step before we actually run it is, first of all, let's tidy up a little bit. So under hacking at the moment we have my seclist. Let's make a directory and say cracking, I think so, passwords. So let's make that a section. I generally like to split and having kind of sections for every different topic. And here we can actually just go and grab now the hashed password that Linux gave us. So we're going to do a sudo cat etc and then the shadow file. Okay, so we grab the full thing. So between the two columns here, just take the full thing and just copy it. Copy. Let's clear our screen and let's put that in a file called hash. Okay, so we're going to paste this, then just exit, save and exit. Okay, so now I have our hash file, and one last thing to do, because this is obviously a demonstration and a test. Make sure if you're choosing a complex password that might not exist in the word list that you have, make sure that you place it into the file. So let's say you have chosen a password called let's say password. Okay, I'll leave it as it is. And then what you'll do just for this test to succeed and to see the output of a successful test, just go to your word list that you have created. Okay, so hacking my word list wherever you have placed it, and then just place it there. Okay, append it. Just remember to put the append symbol and not just the simple redirection symbol. Right, so if we do that, then this will enter here. So we will ensure, at least for this testing, that Hashcat will actually find the correct match, because it's going eventually to reach this password from the word list, is going to hash it with the algorithm, and the output, the hashing will match with what we gave it in the hash file. Okay, so the point here is to succeed. So do that. Obviously, in reality, you don't have that luxury. But given the thousands and thousands of passwords out there, and many of them very bad, chances are at some point it will succeed. Okay, now we are all ready to go. So let's clear this and let's do hashcat -m for the algorithm, 1800, -a for the attack. We're choosing the dictionary attack in this case. Then we put our hash file. Okay, and then we choose our word list, the one we have created, desktop hacking, my sec lists, and then the password word list .txt. Okay, we should be ready. You can optionally add here a -o and just among other things, obviously, and just define a file, but I will leave everything on the screen. So I'll press enter here, and it's starting, it's running it. And we can see here that if we go up here, that is actually cracked, because my password that I have in actually Linux right now, which obviously we need to change, and we'll do that in another section, it's password 123. So it shows you here the hash that you had and what the outcome is. Okay, so we managed to crack our password. And one thing, if you run again hashcat after you have cracked, let's say, a password and you have some output, if you run it again, it will say all hashes found in pod file. Now to see where this pod file is, I'll just show you. So if you do a sudo, because you need to have root privileges to see it, and you do a cat home directory dash, sorry, and I enunciated it, dot hashcat, and then hashcat.pod file. Okay, hashcat.pod file. And if you do that, it will show you what it has. So essentially, it's keeping a memory of the matches it found, the hashes and the passwords. So you don't need again every time to rerun it. But obviously now, if you delete that, then it will go through the process of trying to crack it again. Okay, so that was hashcat. I hope that's interesting. It's a very interesting field, in my opinion, cracking passwords, combining word lists, and using these tools, but also maybe writing your own. So have a play around, let me know what you think, and I will see you in the section where we're going to change our password into something much more secure, which you should do if you have Kali Linux, even as a virtual machine, doesn't matter, get into the habit of changing your password. I'll see you in the next section.